Hey everyone, I just want to quickly say I'm hosting a 100 million coin giveaway in my Discord right now. There's only a few days left, so links in the description if you want a chance at free coins. While you're down there, maybe subscribe too. The Glaciite Tunnels has been released to Hypixel Skyblock, and with it comes many new features and confusing mechanics. So in this video I'm going to cover the entire Glaciite Tunnels experience and detail how to progress, how the new mechanics work, and what to do if you're stuck. This video is aimed at non-Ironman players, since I'm going to be talking about the auction house and bazaar. But don't worry, if you're an Ironman player, I'll be releasing a complete mining guide soon, from beginner to endgame. To access the Glaciite Tunnels, you're going to need to be Heart of the Mountain 7, so if you don't have this, then check out this video on my channel. In the video I explain how to progress to this point. So to start, head to Dulin and talk to him. He can be found right here. After his dialogue, he's going to tell you that you need a secret railroad pass, which can be forged with a flawless ruby, 8 Corleonite, and 2 refined mithril. Luckily it only takes 30 seconds as well. After you have this, head to the Ticketmaster, who is behind the big pot of lava near the forge. Give him the pass and hop on the minecart to unlock the Glaciite Tunnels. Now before actually exploring, I highly recommend you buy the travel scroll to the Dwarven base camp. This will allow you to quickly travel here, since it gets annoying to use the minecart every time, and it will also come in handy to remove cold. I'll explain this soon. Okay, so let's begin exploring this place. In the main base camp with the campfire, there are a few NPCs you can interact with. Coming into this building will allow you to talk to Dr. Stone, who tells you everything about the fossil system. After she's finished her dialogue, collect the chisel and head to the campfire. There should be an NPC here named Sorhen. He'll give you a suspicious scrap for free, which is used to find fossils using this machine here. To play the fossil game, put a suspicious scrap in with your chisel and click in the spots. Think of it like a guessing game. You must find all of the fossil squares hidden around to be able to collect the whole fossil. If you don't get all the fossil pieces, you will instead just get fossil dust. The amount depends on how many fossil squares you found. The fossil dust can be used to purchase suspicious scrap with 500 of it. Not every excavation has a fossil. I'm unsure of the percent chance that a fossil spawns, but it's not super rare. SBE has a feature that accurately predicts where a fossil could be. In the excavation, you can find other materials such as basic gemstones, glaciite powder, and a super rare book called Paleontologist. If you find a fossil and collect it fully, you'll get it in your inventory. Come over to Dr. Stone and give it to her to unlock the rewards. You'll get some nice initial rewards, but the main reason to do this is for the Skyblock XP and the new pet recipe in the forge. Each fossil correlates to a specific pet that you can forge. If you want to forge the pet, you're going to need another fossil of the same kind, which is slightly annoying, but luckily you can just buy the fossil on the AH, or just the entire pet for that matter. I still recommend donating all fossils to Dr. Stone for the rewards. If you're still unsure on how to do this, click this button here and it should explain it in steps. So now we can actually head out into the Glaciite Tunnels. The first thing you might notice is the cold perk, that progressively goes down the longer you stay in the tunnels. This debuff is known as cold, and it works in a similar way to heat in the magma fields. However, one key difference is that the more cold you have, the slower you move and mine. So when you reach about minus 30-ish cold, I recommend you type /warp base to quickly go back to the campfire and remove it. Every minus 1 cold removes 0.5% mining speed, and if you reach minus 100 cold, you instantly die. There are ways to reduce the amount of cold you receive through the use of cold resistance potion and a perk in the Heart of the Mountain tree. There's also gemstones and ores everywhere. This is umber, this is tungsten, this is glaciite, this is onyx, this is citrine, this is peridot, and this is aquamarine. These are the main new ores / gems and are the key to all of the new recipes and forging items. You should browse through the collections of umber, glaciite and tungsten to see what each tier unlocks. Each new gemstone gives a certain stat, depending on what one it is. Aquamarine gives sea creature chance, citrine gives foraging fortune, peridot gives farming fortune, and onyx gives crit damage. When completing the new Glaciite Tunnels commissions, you'll be asked to mine a certain amount of each of this resource. So what I recommend you do is grab some waypoints for the gemstones. I have some in my Discord server under the #guides channel, and here's how to activate them. Now moving on to the new Hot M tree. If you take a look there, you're probably going to get a bit confused at the new perks and the fact that Hot M10 is now in the game. But don't worry, it's not too confusing. Reaching Hot M8 unlocks 7 perks, Hot M9 unlocks 3 perks, and Hot M10 unlocks 7 perks also. The best tree setup to have pre-Hot M8 is this, with a lot of powder put into mining speed and fortune 1 and 2, efficient miner at least level 80, and if you can't do that, get it to at least level 60. This is to just break more of each ore / gemstone to complete the commissions faster. Upgrade fortunate to max and professional to a good level, and also level up seasoned mineman. This is optional but smart. The reason you should do this is because you can level pets while doing your commissions, which could make you some extra cash. This tree setup will leave you with 3 tokens, assuming you have Peak of the Mountain level 7. What you're going to need to do now is grind commissions to reach ideally Hot M10. This will take about 1,300 commissions, not including daily bonuses, but that isn't actually as bad as it seems. The commissions are very easy here compared to the Crystal Hollows or Dwarven Mines. Before I talk about commissions further, let's quickly run through what the best perks are from Hotem 8 to Hotem 10. Get No Stone Unturned, Eager Adventurer, and Rags to Riches, then come over to Excavator, Dead Man's Chest, and down to Sub-Zero Mining. Now unlock Warm-Hearted, Surveyor, and Gifts from the Departed. At this point you'll be out of tokens, but if you get your Peak of the Mountain to level 10, you can get 2 more perks. Unlock Strong Arm and Mineshaft Mayhem. I'm not too certain on how to distribute the Glaciite powder in detail, but here's a rough guide. Level up all of the perks at the same rate, but focus slightly more on Warm-Hearted, Surveyor, Excavator, and No Stone Unturned. If you take a look at the Surveyor perk, you'll see it says increases your chance of finding a Glaciite mineshaft when mining by X amount. The Glaciite mineshaft is a special instance that has a small chance of spawning when mining ores or gemstones in the tunnels. When a mineshaft opens, it spawns right where you are, and to get into it you just need to click on it. This is important, you only have a limited amount of time in here. You have until your cold reaches minus 100, so don't waste any time. When you enter the mineshaft, it's RNG on what structure you get. There are 23 structures that it chooses from. I'm also fairly certain the ore/gemstone you are mining at the time impacts what mineshaft you get. It doesn't really matter on how the mineshaft spawns anyway, since you're not going to be constantly grinding one specific block to try and spawn a mineshaft. It's basically out of your control. Inside the mineshaft you will see mobs, frozen bodies, and a lot of ores and gems. If you want to obtain suspicious scrap, which is used for the previously mentioned excavation minigame, you're going to need to mine the ores and gems you see around the place. The reason you should grind suspicious scrap is to either complete a commission you might have, or just to sell it. The best way to grind the scrap is to start mining as soon as you enter the mineshaft, so your cold is at the lowest. When dropping a scrap it will say it in chat, and from my experience you can get 1 to 3 per drop. Also, I might be completely wrong here and I still haven't found out the answer to this. I'm not sure if it's possible to drop a suspicious scrap twice in one mineshaft. I've had over 30 mineshafts, and every time I only gotten 1 scrap per, so I'm either extremely unlucky or it's capped. And if you're confused, I don't mean physically dropping more than 1 like this, I mean seeing it twice in the chat. Moving on to the frozen corpses, each Glaciite mineshaft has at least 2 frozen corpses, with a 50% chance for a third one to spawn. An extra one can spawn with the Dead Man's Chest perk, which means the maximum number of frozen corpses that can spawn is 4. These corpses are either the Lapis Corpse, the Umber Corpse, the Tungsten Corpse, or the Vanguard Corpse. However, this one only spawns in the Ferry mineshaft, which is a 6% chance. The way you can check what corpses are in each mineshaft is by holding tab, and they'll be right there. Finding them can be annoying, and actually looting them requires a key, besides the Lapis one. Here's a photo of what key each body needs. Each body drops loot, with a different chance depending on what body you're looting. Kill the mobs you see right at the end, before you hit minus 100 cold, and kill them with a pickaxe. And once done, exit via the way you came in. You get a bonus 1000 Glaciite powder if you leave before you die, so you might as well. And you can't type /warp base to actually get that 1000 powder, you need to actually go back to where you came in and click it. Now you understand how mostly all the mechanics work, it's time to start grinding Heart of the Mountain. Getting straight to 10 isn't particularly needed to enjoy the update and to get the new items, but it will help a whole ton, and you get some nice Skybook XP. The commissions consist of collecting a certain resource, finding a mineshaft, looting corpses, or finding suspicious scrap. Obviously every commission is RNG besides the collection ones, so there's no real way to grind those. You might be thinking, what happens if I'm stuck with all 4 commissions as the RNG ones? Well, that is very uncommon and it has only happened to me once. In that situation, you just need to try and spawn a mineshaft. If you use the routes in my Discord and have high mining stats with good gear, grinding the commissions will not take long at all. The Glaciite amalgamation can be forged with 8 of each new fine gemstone, and 128 enchanted Glaciite once you reach Glaciite collection level 5. The tungsten and umber plate are used in a lot of late game recipes and can be forged with 4 refined umber or tungsten, depending on the plate, and 1 Glaciite amalgamation. This can be done once you reach umber or tungsten collection level 9. This one's pretty obvious, but you can now forge perfects of each new gem. There are new pets added which unlock once you donate the corresponding fossil to Dr. Stone. The T-Rex pet can be forged with a footprint fossil and a flawless onyx. The Spinosaurus can be forged with a spine fossil and a flawless aquamarine. The Goblin pet is forged with an ugly fossil and a flawless amber. The Ankylosaurus is forged with a clubbed fossil and a flawless opal. The Penguin pet is forged using a webbed fossil and a flawless aquamarine. The Mammoth pet is forged using the tusk fossil and a flawless onyx. And the Mole pet is forged using the claw fossil and 300,000 coins. I'd recommend looking at each of these pets on the AH to see if they're useful to you. There are upgrades to the chisel. The first upgrade is the reinforced chisel, which costs 2 tungsten and umber plates and a bejeweled handle. And the next upgrade is the Glaciite chisel, which costs a reinforced chisel, 8 Glaciite amalgamations, 1 mithril plate and a bejeweled handle. Upgrading your chisel is great because it allows you to more efficiently do the excavation minigame, giving you more charges and better loot. The perfect plate can be forged with 1 tungsten, umber and mithril plate, and is used in all of the recipes for the Hotem 10 items. These items are the skeleton key, which requires 1 perfect plate and 1 bejeweled handle, the relic of power, which requires 4 perfect plates and the artifact of power, the perfect chisel, which requires the Glaciite chisel, a perfect plate and and a bejeweled handle, and finally, the new best necklace for mining, the Pendant of Devan, which costs a shattered locket, a perfect plate, and 10 Devan fragments. The Umbran tungsten keys can be forged once collection level 7 is reached, and the Frigid Husk, a new pickaxe reforge, can be forged once Glaciate collection level 7 has been reached. There are only a few items left, and these are the Dwarven Handwarmers, Dwarven Metal Talisman, the Portable Campfire, and the Tungsten Keychain. That was quite a lot of info in a short space of time, so please let me know if I've forgotten anything. In fact, if you notice anything that seems to be wrong in this entire video, comment it down below and I'll keep a pinned comment updated for corrections. The final thing I want to talk about is how to grind Glaciate powder. Obviously you're going to need a lot of it for all the new perks. You get Glaciate powder from doing stuff around the tunnels and in the mine shafts, but it's not really enough. A really good method I've heard about is to buy lots of suspicious scrap and complete loads of excavation games to get Glaciate powder. The update is a bit too early to determine the best ways to get powder, but this method will definitely work to get a lot. So I think that's it. I guarantee I've missed a few things, or the meta will change, so keep me updated with corrections in the comments. But apart from that, I hope you found this guide useful. Consider subscribing if it helped you, and I hope to see you soon.